And we are live. Welcome to the AI and SEO news for week 39, which is last week. I've gathered all the important news, guides, analysis, everything you need to know to stay on top of AI and search. My name is Frederick Drost. I work for Precise Digital, or Precise, as we're called now. And yeah, let's just dive right in. Um, well, let's start with a Google update, specifically the Google August spam update, which finished rolling out. So after 27 days, so pretty long period for what I consider maybe a smaller update. Um, Again, there's been a lot of volatility here. So we can see there is steep drops have been seen since September the 10th, indexing issues. Some say that Google is favoring larger publishers over smaller ones. Um, Again, what we should take away from this, if you've seen kind of volatility or drops that haven't come back, is of course making sure content, backlinks especially, maybe you have too many spam backlinks that you have ignored because Google doesn't really punish them anymore. So maybe it's time to bring out that old disavow file once more. So have a look at all those things, of course, if you've seen the drop. We've had clients in sensitive areas like sex shops, sex toys, that completely dropped out of rankings and then got them back again. So it seems like it overcorrected and then kind of had to go back. So they might have been working on this ongoingly. So again, sensitive areas, make sure you check those. Um, and again, yeah, good old checks. Have a read at this very good article if you were one of those websites that dropped because of this. And then we move into 3 updates here on new tools. So new tools or updates. This one's really cool. You can compare Google Store ratings and benchmark them against your competitors. I know in the US, it looks a lot different than in Europe, the SERPs. They're very much e-commerce focused more. And this store rating from Google Shopping, I suppose, is very important for trust, et cetera, et cetera. It is shown in the SERPs. You can now show it on your website as well with a little widget, it's called. So that was last week news. There's a widget that can show you trust scores from Google stores, etc., which I think would be interesting to test and apply to your website. But here you can compare against competitors. Relevancy of this in Europe still, unclear. But here you go. Here is the tool. Also, Google launched a public preview of the Chrome DevTools MCP server. So MCP servers, again, as far as I know, is pretty much a way for chatbots to access well, you could say APIs. I know Ahrefs has one. I'm testing that out, where you can perhaps directly in ChatGPT ask it to, give you keyword data, and then it can access that data and throw it back into ChatGPT. So that's the simple version of what MCPs are, model context protocols, are servers that are designed for that. And this is for Chrome DevTools. So you could start perhaps reviewing code you've changed, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to try and integrate this into our own workspace, Gemini. Hopefully soon. So again, give it a try if you're into PageSpeed and Core Web Vitals as well for SEOs, where it's relevant. And then another MCP server here that's designed apparently to browse the web, like opening tabs, clicking, etc. Again, just have a look at this X post and you'll get more information on this. There's a good thread as well. So if you want to test out browsing capabilities, try it here. And then we get into the guide here, mostly around LLMs and AI visibility. A really good article on, well, I guess the technical SEO's adaptation for AI visibility that's the title really here. It's the idea goes through that core of search has not changed. Agents, we just have we still have information retrieval, then we have an agentic layer, presentation layer. So exactly what we should be doing. So this is a great checklist that's technically focused. I will look through this, and if we've missed anything in our own AI visibility audits, I will add it. So have a read at this. And then we have a few guides. This one from LinkedIn, which is very interesting. I didn't know this. You can add .json to the end of any Reddit URL to get all comments, as well as expanded comments. And guess what? In JSON format. What a surprise, huh? So yeah, I'll be testing this out. I think this could be good to get a summary of things, pain points. Maybe you want to do research using Reddit and maybe cite Reddit answers. And well, you can now get that information a little faster. And then we've got good old Andrew Charlton here argues that the idea of SEO needing a seat at every table. So for example, you've if you're an SEO consultant for a bigger client, they have digital PR teams. They might have this team. They might have this. They might have this. So all of these different areas of a larger company, you want to have a say in SEO, and we can affect SEO. And it should technically, we should have a say in many of these, or at least be part of that kind of decision making. But he says it's unrealistic and counterproductive. So main points, again, just focus where the value is, what can we change, et cetera, et cetera. These things make a lot of sense. This is very much focused on SEO consultants. So that's what the article, who the article is for. But really good take. Himanshu Sharma, very good GA4 Analytics Twitter account there. He says, and we kind of know this, GA4 is underreporting website traffic. I know there's consent. There's all these sorts of things, especially in EU, cookie rejection, ad blockers. He says it's 40 to 50% that goes untracked. But a good little tip from him here is that Cloudflare, you can go into Cloudflare Analytics, which is very, very simple, I've heard. But you can go in and say, well, look, we've actually got 400K visitors instead of 200K. And that can help you drive marketing decisions, et cetera, et cetera. So that's great. I think for SEOs, this is very much ad focused, I feel. For SEOs, we're still getting clicks from Search Console. I know a lot of that is anonymous data, but we can still kind of see changes over time. So I'm going to trust Search Console for a while longer. And then, well, the hot take here is AI search summaries making evergreen content obsolete. That's a good question. It says no, and I really just like those one point here is said. This is the point that I think we should remember. I put this as must read because content is a huge part of SEO. Don't abandon evergreen, but recalibrate expectations. Traffic may decline from summaries, but authority and trust signals still make it valuable. Good. Also, when it comes to content strategies, they're talking a lot about fast SEO now, which is like, okay, something we have been working with as well. Is like finding trends that have like sudden new trends. And if you start writing content about those, a new law is passed. Well, be the first to write about it because people will search for it. There's no competition. You can get traffic. And then, of course, it'll drop over time because it's a trend. But if you keep working on that, you will always have high numbers of traffic that might convert. Plus, a lot of times when you're first out, people will reference your article and you get natural backlinks. So that's a really good strategy mixed with Evergreen. Again, I go into search summaries like AI overviews, and if I feel I need more information, I actually look at the sources for some statements and then click on that website. So I still do navigate that way. So again, expectations, have a mix of trends plus evergreen content and the middle content as well. And finally, start working on content that are answering questions you know people are asking, but you might not have the keyword data for it. The query fan-out technique. We're working on that with clients where we're like, well, let's just find relevant questions and answer them correctly. And the funny part is nobody else is doing it, so we're ranking #1 in AI overviews, all sources for that. We're like, and we're ranking #1 in Google Blue Lakes. Again, we don't have keywords search data. They're not gaining traffic, but the moment AI mode starts coming into play in those countries, they will start doing these types of searches for the user. And we are the only ones who have that content. Plus, it can help drive conversion and answer questions internally once you have a visitor there. So there's a lot of benefits to this. We're moving away from, only write content about things that we have keywords for, high volume, blah, blah, blah. And actually making the web better, I think that's a good strategy. So those 3 concepts should create a well-rounded content strategy. Sorry, that was a long one, but I'm quite invested in this. I think this is important for everyone. And then we have our lovely Elena Solis, the GOAT. And again, she's talking about final piece of content here that I think, honestly, I'm going to put this as must read. If you're a brand, there's things you should still be publishing, which is research, stats, surveys, case studies, product descriptions, features comparisons, FAQs, reviews, Q&As, forum. No fluff, of course, but those are also aspects of a content strategy that are important and can drive conversions, trust, perhaps not as much traffic as you might think, but still very important stuff here and can help with rankings. So again, that gives us 4 types of things we can write for clients and have a well-rounded content strategy. Again, case studies is not, it's very B2B, I think here for this one. And then product insights, more e-commerce. So, okay, take it with a grain of salt, but I think a well-rounded content strategy now gives us evergreen. It gives us kind of insights and specific brand products, insights, case studies. That's 2. We then have like non-keyword content answering niche questions that are still relevant. And then finally, we've got the last one, which would be trend content. So that's 4 things we can start working with. So we're not done with content. And yes, this is great from DGen SEO here. He shared this on Twitter that he's seen websites that have these artifacts in content. So, I mean, this is just bad. And I think what's going on here is people are turning to these. There's plenty of good products out there that can auto-create content for you. They'll go to a website, look at the content, and then update it automatically. But sometimes it leaves this stuff in. Also, people just publishing AI content without a human to check it. So again, humans should check this. Don't remove the human from the content creation to the publishing part. I think that's important. So if you have a new client, just maybe look around and check this. You can maybe check for artifacts using a custom search in Screaming Frog, Crawl, etc. It's always a good start to say, hey, look what you're doing. So thanks for sharing this, DJan. And then finally, but not least, that's what they say, why Reddit matters in AI search. So some cool numbers here. Reddit domains dominates AI citations. 98% of product review searches. Number 1 most cited domain across AI platforms. 3.5% of all citations. Triple Wikipedia. So, working in that space, maybe also using that space to create content, citing a Reddit in your own content might help. If you cite Reddit, then Google, whatever AI crawler can see you've cited Reddit, and now Reddit doesn't get that citation. You do, because you're like, well, look, this AI, look, this content on brand X websites are citing a Reddit user's answer, and you have filtered out the fluff. You've checked them, so it might use that, but still give you the link, which is really interesting, and the referral traffic. So again, a lot of information here that can drive how we work with PR, AI visibility, and content in general. Have a look at this. Really, really good takeaways from this article as well. Reddit matters in AI search. And that was it for the news for week 39. Thank you for listening. Please like, please subscribe. I will post every Monday, and I will also have some more guides coming out soon, just general SEO guides. And most importantly, have a lovely week until I see everyone next week in this video. Ciao.